benefits. The government's new work programme sets a new performance test. It will only pay contractors in full if they get people into lasting jobs.
It's time that government stopped pretending it knows how to do the job. We are much better off saying to the professionals who work in the welfare to work industry, you design programmes, but we'll pay them when they're successful, when they actually get somebody into work, and importantly, help them stay there. This is a complete revolution in welfare to work. This is the biggest payment by results scheme of its kind we think that's ever been tried anywhere in the world.
The government signed contracts all over the UK with companies and voluntary groups. These welfare revolutionaries will only get their money back if they deliver.
They're investing £580 million over the next year. That's a big statement of intent, of commitment to getting people into work. And if they don't succeed, that's money they will lose.
And the voluntary group Rehab have won one of the 2 work programme contracts in Wales. You think you can solve a problem like Brill?
I think we can play our part very significantly. We're hoping to have at least 2,500 people access our programmes, and we're really hopeful and fairly confident that we will have at least 1,000 of those people in jobs by the end of the programme.
And that could include Christine. Her stint at the market is over. The government is now starting to test everybody on incapacity benefits to see if they're fit for work. It's a step no government has ever taken before.
So I'm not staying in the sick. No way I'm staying in the sick. I don't want to.
She knows her world is about to change, and that won't be easy for her.
It's not the thought of getting up and everything like that. I don't know. It's just, I don't know. It is a bit frightening, that bit. They want people off the sick, off the dole, and they want them in work.
Well, does that seem to you like a friendly invitation, or does that seem to you like rather like pressure?
Bit of pressure, yeah. But I think it is quite alarming that we haven't got a choice, really, have we?
The local MP approves of getting people off welfare, but he says the government is stigmatising the most vulnerable.
The words, the philosophy that's bubbling out now about alcoholics and single parents and drug addicts, you know, is not the right approach. To victimise them and say you're totally responsible for it when there's no jobs for them to get or their job opportunities are being reduced massively, you know, isn't giving them hope.
The government says work programme contractors will be well paid for getting challenging cases off benefits into work.
One of the reasons that we are spending up to £14,000 to get some of the hardest to help people into work is to make sure that our providers have a real incentive to work with them. I don't think we should look upon anybody as a completely lost cause.
Yet one of the main contractors hired to do the job sounds a warning note.
Do you think you can get people who've been on incapacity benefit for a long time into work in large numbers, as the government assures us that you all can?
I think we have to be very careful about this. There are many people who have taken that journey and who have succeeded, and there's a number of people who haven't. The last thing you want to do is set up people to fail.
The government claims its universal credit will make work pay better than staying on benefits, and it wants tougher penalties if you can work but don't. Before he went on the strikers course, Steve had his benefits cut under the existing system.
They told me to apply for a job, which I didn't like. I can't remember what job it was. And I didn't apply for it, so they sanctioned me for 6 months.
So they fined you £30 a fortnight for 6 months?
Yeah.
Which hurt?
Yeah, well, I had a baby as well, so I couldn't really get a lot for a birthday plus Christmas, because it was over Christmas time.
But you're on something called job seekers allowance,
yeah.
Not job choosers allowance. Do you think you have the right only to go for a job that you want to do?
I prefer to get a job what you'd at least like, rather than going somewhere you don't like, end up quitting within a week, 2 weeks, just for a waste of time, really.
In the government's new regime, the ultimate sanction for repeatedly turning down jobs that are on offer will be to lose benefit for 3 years.
If you get the big stick out too soon, too early, when there's no jobs there, or even worse, when the job opportunities are diminishing, will raise false hopes and be a recipe for disaster. You'll be driving people back on the streets.
There's absolutely no reason for anyone to end up on the streets as a result of what we're doing. The only people who put themselves in danger of finding their benefits stop are those who are capable of doing so and willfully say, I refuse to engage with the system.
How much do you want to work at the moment?
Yeah, a lot.
But do you want to work so much you would do any job that would pay the bills?
Not any job. I'd have to like the job, like I said.
Adam Gale has been struggling to find a job. The work experience at Morrison's, which he found for himself, is now finished. And he's going back on the dole.
What are your emotions now?
Anger. Government, anger at myself, anger at the course I was on, frustration. No nice feelings.
What do you feel about all you've tried to do?
It's been a waste of time, to be honest. Some of it I'd still do again in a heartbeat, because I think you can't get enough without trying, but most of it, I think, the last 12 weeks has been a waste.
It's very tough getting from welfare into work, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's near impossible, to be honest. Unless you're lucky or you've got good qualifications, it's very hard to get back into a career.
It's Royal Wedding Day in Rhyl, and after all the hard work and preparation, the Taste Academy is open for business, but everything's gone royally wrong.
We've had a bit of a nightmare. The electrics went down last minute, but we're getting there now.
Do you ever think we've bitten off a bit more than we can chew?
No, it's fine. This is just catering. This is what happens, you know, things happen, boilers blow up, electric stops, people go off sick. It's fine, it's, you know, that's what we're used to.
After nearly a month on the dole, Adam Gale has got a phone call from Morrison's, asking him to come in for an interview. Will it be a fairy tale ending for him after all?
Hi Adam, how did you get on? What did they say to you? You're smiling.
Yeah, I'm always smiling at her. Now I'm confused. They've offered me an 18-hour-a-week job. I've took it, obviously, because they can basically just to prove that I can do the work when I'm getting paid.
So this isn't the job that you went for. This is something less than that.
To be honest, it's more than I had yesterday. So I could be moody about it and say, oh, what is full-time, or I could be happy and think, well, there's a chance of getting full-time if I work hard. So I want to see the upside and think there's a chance of getting full-time work.
The royal wedding may have been a nightmare for the Taste Academy, but they're determined to get it right on their big night. The official opening party 3 weeks later. The trainees aren't getting handouts anymore, they're doing the handing out.
It's important to have projects like this to get young people back to work so that they're not marginalised.
But will the jobs be there? Getting people off benefits depends critically on the economy performing well.
Nearly 50% of the people who work in my constituency are in the public sector, 13,000 people. And Mr Cameron wants to sack between 10 and 25% of those, at the same time as putting others, the unemployed, with lower skills, lower confidence levels, back to work.
But the government says that across the UK, 1 million extra jobs are going to be created.
My sense is that there is an overwhelming desire for change.
Is it your ambition to break the benefits culture?
Oh, it's an absolutely clear ambition to change the nature of Britain's benefits culture. So our welfare state becomes a vehicle for you to get back on your feet and get into the workplace, not a place you live.
In a few months, Jim and Darren will have completed their time at the Taste Academy, and they'll be searching for jobs again.
My confidence since being here has, literally skyrocketed.
Compare the you, Darren, that was you.
Completely different person, completely different person, calm down a lot, got me head into this, loving it.
And on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate your pride and your happiness tonight?
Probably 10, yeah. I'll give it a 15.
Adam's given it all he's got, but he's still halfway to getting full-time work.
Don't give up looking for a job. And I know you might get 100 no's, but still, if you're motivated enough and you prove to employers, they'll hire you. You can't rely on the job centre to do it for you.
Next week, can you trust your bank? Following massive penalties for mis-selling insurance and investment products, Panorama goes undercover and asks, is your high street bank still bad for your wealth?